Hey guys, Matt, Cichlid Dojo, back with another monthly Fishroom update. This video is for the month of April. So like I always mention in these type of videos, I try to go over updates, things that have changed, things that will change, fish that are available. Very important. I try to announce them here first. And yeah, any big plans that I have, things that are going on, spawns that are occurring. I try to cover pretty much everything here in these monthly videos. And I go through, I believe it's about 27 tanks here in the garage, in the fish room. And then the 3 ponds in the backyard I don't really cover, although I do have to give some kind of update on them. It's been a while since I've shown the Braziliensis back there in the 300 gallon. But anyways, let's get right into it. And I'll start where I think I started last month, right here. This rack right here is the 5-foot rack. It's got a 150 gallon on top, which is 5 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot tall, and it houses the Herichthys carpentis, the blue Texas fish that I think shows really good with the natural light. No change to them. I think they're doing great. You can see this male on the left side. I've mentioned many times, he's definitely one of my favorite males I've kept. I think he's absolutely beautiful, and he does really well with his female up this point. Not a whole lot of aggression with them. They do spawn somewhat regularly, but the batches have diminished quite a bit. And I even think the last batch that they attempted, it just wasn't viable. So keep an eye on that. Might just be a phase for them. But you know, for that reason, I have 2 pairs, and you can see the pair on the right here. That female, she's not in breeding dress right now. A lot of times she is, because I'll usually have a breeder box with fry up in the upper right hand corner. That's not the case right now. And you can see the other male, his brother, looking great as well. And we'll see. I might take a batch of fry off these guys. I have been ignoring them in the past and just kind of pulling fry from the pair on the left. But I may need to start pulling some fry from the right pair soon if these guys are going to continue to slow down and not produce. So, but can't really complain. Carpentis, this aggressive species, doing well. This male, I'm loving him. I really like the looks of this guy. And they're doing good. And their dithers in here, the silver dollars, are also doing well. They sort of coexist and live together extremely well. So couldn't be happier with that. Next, on the bottom of this 5-foot rack, I have my Parachromis multifasciatus pair. And there's some big news on these guys. Try to put a little light on here for you. So it's a really tough call. I know I've mentioned it in the past that I was going to plan on keeping these guys till the end. And you know, I found I have a guy who I know is a good fish keeper, buddy, I guess I could call him. And he wanted to get these guys. And you know, in addition, I'm kind of growing out some of their last batch of fry, and it's sort of a project I always wanted to do. I want to grow these guys out again. It's been a long time since I've grown any multifasciatus or Freddies up to you know, pairing size and, you know, starting fresh. And I've had these guys for a long time. They've produced a lot of fry, and this guy's extremely big. So, but they will be going out tomorrow morning. So kind of sad, but you know, tanks are, that's the, you know, the tanks and the desire to try new projects is always what throws a wrench in things, and I had to make a tough call. So that is going to happen tomorrow, and then I can use this tank for, as you know, kind of dying for tank space as it is. So it's going to definitely help. So I think he's really going to like this pair. I had a lot of fun with him over the years, and I'm sure he'll do well with them. So that's sort of a big news that's occurring. But anyways, to move on, that's one rack. Go to rack number 2 here. This is a 4-foot rack with a 120 gallon on top that houses the Andinoacara Stahlsbergi, the true green tears. And we'll try to get in here. They can be a little skittish, so I gotta do my best to creep in here. There's one of the big eaters, but there's the dominant male. You can see him. And they're really doing good, with the exception of them not breeding anymore. It's been some time. I do love this group, this wild caught group. And I still do have some F1 fry off of the parent here. And so let me see if we can find the female. I think that's the female right there, the breeder female. I just need her to snap back into rhythm and start producing again. But I am also taking measures with them and trying to grow out a small group of fry from them for myself. Something I love to do, and maybe I'll have to use their, you know, their kids as future breeders. We'll see. But that's in the works, and we'll get to that tank here in a second. But the wild-caught Stahlsbergi are doing great. And they even started to have that trailers on the back of their tail. You can see that that fish right there. Thought it was really neat. Something I don't think I see in other species that I keep, but really kind of cool looking. Little trailer on the tail action. Got a couple like that. Anyways, let's go down below. On the bottom of this rack, I have another 4-foot tank. It's sort of the footprint of a 75 gallon. It houses the Hericthus Depuyai, and these are available, guys, just like the Stahlsbergi fry. And these fry are F1s as well. They come off of one of my wild-caught breeder pairs that I don't have anymore. But if you're interested, absolutely beautiful species, and I'm definitely thinking about growing some more out for myself. I love them. Love keeping them, and it's going to all be about tank space, if I'll have that tank open to do that project or not. But in the meantime, still plenty of fry available if you're interested, guys. All right, let's go to this third rack, another 4-foot rack with a 120 gallon tank on top, and we're going to get in slow. This has the F1 Rio Gaius red terrors. One of 2 grow out groups that I got, and they're doing good. Very slow progress, of course, as I'm expecting. You can see that one big dominant male right there, and then so another mix of sexes in here, as you would guess, but no pairing. This male's got to be 6 inches plus, I would guess. And this is from a bloodline that I don't have. This is the last of that bloodline. It came from another wild-caught Rio Gaius pair that I don't keep anymore. And so I'm definitely thinking about keeping at least one male in this batch for myself. and do something with him. And if this guy is the guy, then hopefully we'll get him big enough and pair him off with a different blood, or possibly one of those wild-caught females that I have, which they would be unrelated. So anyways, this group is doing really good. I got to handle my buddy. I owe him a fish or two out of here. And then, you know, at some point, these bigger ones, I'd say these are on the 3 to 5 inch range. They're going to be made available. But I'll definitely announce them here first. You know, a lot of people inquire about the bigger Festae because of how slow the species grows, and I don't blame you. But doing good. All right, so moving to the bottom, a 60 gallon. I have that Nanolutea pair in here. Still hopes of getting a spawn. They're hiding in that pot right now. We'll see. But as of right now, no real news. So I got them at the bottom, just waiting. Next rack. We're not going to be able to see this rack very well, I think. But it is a 4 foot, I guess if you could call it a rack. Total DYI. 75 gallon on top. I have those multifaceted, those Freddies that I'm working on growing out. Colors, you're not going to see much coloration on them yet, but they are growing and they're incredible eaters. And I have big hopes for these guys, as you know, hopefully find a future pair in the works here. I think there's about 20 of them in here. And they're doing good. I'm kind of just ignoring them for the time being. Not ignoring their maintenance, but not really getting video or anything of them until they start to show some coloration. And hopefully pairing will be around the corner. Maybe that 5 to 6 inch range, I'm hoping. We'll see. But these guys just eat like no other. I have to do multiple water changes a week on this tank. Just to keep up with their hunger. But anyways, doing good. Down below, 3 10-gallon tanks. On the right, we still have more F1 Festae in here. Rio Gaius. In the middle, we have more Blue Texas fry, which I do have available, but not from this batch. I have bigger ones. And then on the left, I moved a small batch of panamensis in here. I do have a slightly bigger size batch, and we'll see those in a second. But yeah, I'm happy to have 2 batches of panamensis going here. I really love this species, and we'll see those near the end of this video, the parents in the group. All right, so next tank, this is a 240 gallon, and on the left I have my main wild-caught breeder pair, the Rio Gaius wild-caught pair. And as you can see from afar here, female's in aggressive mode and she's guarding in the pot. So she has, I can already see, fertilized eggs in that pot, and we might be able to get in close and check them out. You can see them on the back of that pot as well, and they're also on the bottom. So she's showing aggression towards the male, and of course the silver dollars that are hanging out with them. And I mentioned before that the last batch of fry, you know, I didn't find them. I expected to see them in there and they were gone. So she's definitely, there were some issues with the last batch. Not sure what that was of the first time that happened with this pair. I'm kind of thinking, after watching this pair for the last few days get into spawning and breeding mode, it may be the size of this pot. The male's definitely putting on size, and I may have to use a bigger pot here. I don't have many larger than this, especially this type of pot, which I really like. But I figured I'd wait and see one more batch, how it goes, if they're successful, because he just looks awkward trying to get in there. And so we'll see if he was able to do the job or not. But again, you start to see his bars showing pretty well, and you can tell he's they're in breeding mode right now. So very fun. Love these guys. Love this pair. Let's hope that they were able to do the job in this pot. And if not, hopefully I'll swap up that pot, and we'll see for the next batch. So that pot that I'm going to use, though, is just really large. It's going to take up most of this side of the tank, width-wise. You know, might be 15, 18 inches wide. So in this 24-inch wide tank, that's just going to be a lot of pot. But what can you do? So he's doing good. On the right side, these guys are all hiding. I got the garage door open, but you could see the other wild-caught Festae that I have. It's the one male, and he's still doing good, but still no changes as far as accepting a female. I'm, you know, I got the 2 females in here, which I'm considering, if I can get some of those F1s big enough, probably try those females with them. And then vice versa, maybe if I get a female, I do have a large, I believe is a female, that I might try with him, an F1 female. So I might experiment here going forward with these guys to get, hopefully trigger something. He just might not like the 2 options he has here. I don't see why, but you never know. And the good thing, though, he's not thrashing or destroying any of the fish in here. So that's a quality that I definitely need in my male Festae. So anyways, females are hiding in the back corner, so we're not going to get to see them. All right, let's go to this. This is a 5-foot rack, and the top tank, the 100 gallon, is housing those F1 Stahlsbergi that I'm growing out for hopefully future breeding. And they are extremely skittish guys, but you're going to be able to see them all hiding at the bottom. And all these kind of came from, I had one batch some time ago that was extremely small, I believe in the 20 range. And I was just kind of growing these guys out, you know, and see if we can see more of them. They're really healthy, though. Really good eaters. I'm starting to, you know, I got to watch a lot of people grow out my F1 fry. Even have a buddy who's got a 6-inch male, and it just looks amazing off of my pair. And so I said, you know, I really, you know, for a while now, I've really wanted to grow out some of these guys. Hopefully, I don't think I'll experience the same issues that I did with the wild-caught parents, such as appetite being low. They're very picky eaters even to this day, the wild-caughts. Pretty much only eat flake. And a lot of the fish, unfortunately, the dominant male in that tank, he eats flake very sparingly. He eats bloodworms on treat day very well, but you know, I'm hoping that these F1s will be completely different, and they will, I believe, outgrow the parents because of that issue. But we'll see. Only time will tell. And I'll keep updates on these guys. I'll definitely, once these guys get a little bit bigger, throw some dithers in here, probably silver dollars, and get these guys to come out a little bit more so I can do some video on them, because without those dithers, they're extremely shy at this size. So you can see them all huddled up right there. But anyways, F1, Andinoacara, Stahlsbergi, have high hopes for them. All right, and then down on the bottom, nothing special here, just some more F1 Festae fry. These are ones that are available. I would say the size of these guys is at 3/4 of an inch plus. I think some are getting it closer to that 1 inch, but they're available. Message me if you're interested. All right, let's move on. I'm gonna roll around in my chair here. We'll start over here first, okay? And this is the side where the garage is open, so it's definitely going to be keep the fish a little skittish. This 40 gallon, I'm going to try to get in close. I have it bare bottom right now, but I decided to take a small batch of the blue Texas fry that I had and start growing some out. I may need to get future breeders. As you've seen, my parents, the big ones, slowed down. And you know, I've only had them in this 40 gallon for I think 2 weeks, and they have just absolutely grown just tremendously fast. You know, being out from the main group with all the fry, and so I'm definitely going to have a lot of fun with this. And I'll throw some substrate in there once they get a little bit bigger, but I like to keep it like this until the time is ready, because they can really keep their tank clean this way. But they're looking great. I think there's 12 of them. You know, I just pulled 12 out. Some smaller ones, some of the bigger ones, about 2-3 weeks ago, and said, hey, I'm gonna grow some out. That's my favorite part. So we'll see how they do, guys, but I'll definitely need to make a bigger tank, probably a 75 gallon at one point, to get my pair eventually. So down below, these are fry that are available. Got them listed. I think a lot of them, some of them are in that 3/4 of an inch size. They're available, and I always definitely get the biggest out of the batch when I get these out of there, because the big ones, you'll have 1 or 2 standouts that just start killing off fish. Aggressive species, you know, and it's tough as fry because you get some losses. But anyways, they're available if you're interested. Message me from my big pair on the left. All right, next tank. These are the Cubans, the Nanolutea tetracanthus. Man, they are growing incredibly fast. I just updated recently, posting them for available, and I'm already going to update the size on these guys. There's going to be a lot of them that I'd say an inch plus. A lot of them growing very fast and hard to keep up with their appetite. They're also on the tank that I've got that new hang on the back filter. If you guys checked out one of my review videos, you'll see. And I guess maybe a little quick, short 2-week, maybe 1-2 week update review. Not much difference on this filter. You know, I think it's pretty good. I've got to use it a little bit and learn a little bit more about it. And I think in that video I expressed how the water on this side definitely gets higher. And I think it's the design of this filter. However it's designed, the motor will push more water this way. Not a big problem. Also, the intake, once it gets below about, I think that little, it says water, minimum water level, it stops being able to suck water up. So unfortunately, it's not going to be aqua clear level of being able to still filter water at, you know, 40-50% tank water, or lack of that water. This one needs to have it here, but it is better than the Tidal, which you have to have the water basically at the top. So just a quick observation. I'll definitely do a follow-up maybe in 6 months. But surface skimmer is not that bad as I thought. Not as much of a pain, but I really hope that thing fry don't accidentally get sucked in there. They could have, who knows? But I still didn't plug that thing up like I mentioned in the video. So anyways, Cuban fry are doing well. Message me if interested, guys. These things are looking big, fat and healthy, big eaters. Fun species. All right. Down below, we have another 3 10-gallon tanks. On the left, these are the Parachromis motaguensis, the red tiger motas. That first batch I got off my recently formed pair. They're doing good.
I would say they're 1/2 inch, and give it maybe a month before these become available. Not the fastest growers or species, but we'll get there. And middle tank, these are the panamensis. See if we can focus or not. There you go. These are the bigger batch of panamensis. Some of these are definitely over 1/2 inch. I'll put them available, I would say, within that same time range, a month or less. And they're looking good. I really like this species. A lot hardier than I thought they would be. I haven't really lost any, knock on wood. But really fun species. And we'll go check out their parents here in a second. On the right, I have that last batch of Islaunus. I decided to pull them before I shipped out that pair, my last grown out pair. And I have a bigger batch of these that are available. We'll see those here in a second, but I do have a second batch for later on. So let's move on.
All right. So I'm going to try to sit down here and get into this tank. This is another 4-foot rack, and on the top is another 120 gallon, my favorite. And this houses more of the Rio Gaius F1 Festae. And three of these fish came from my buddy. He grew out some from the smaller male on the right, wild-caught male, who has only spawned a couple times. And you know, I was really happy to get some of these back. 3 males is what we thought. You can see this biggest one right here. I would say is definitely a male. And then there's a second male right here, which I also really like. I think they have really good barring. However, this third one looked exactly like the other 2 weeks ago. And then suddenly you see a color change, the face. You start to see some black in the dorsal. And you can see the spangles on the fins and body. I would expect that's going to go away. I don't think I've ever had a female keep those. But my guess would be that this may actually be a female at this point. It just looks completely different than 2 weeks ago. Let me know what you guys think. It just has way too many spangles to be a female. So I would probably guess they're going to go away, and which is surprising because this fish is about 6 inches plus. And so I guess you could say late bloomer. I've had situations like that in the past, but very odd. Or if you think it's a male still, let me know in the comments, guys. I do have 2 females from that other batch right here, and second one right here. So one of those females went to my buddy. I owed him a couple females for getting me back some of this different blood. These males, or 2 males and 1 female now, but trying to get an unrelated pair of F1s here for a future breeding project. So really have fun watching them, although it's extremely slow and the whole process, but this one is really interesting to me. Every now and then you get some weird outliers that make you question your ability to determine sex at smaller sizes. You know, I'd say a lot of the cases you can kind of tell 4 or 5 inches. Very few of the times have I been fooled. Like I think I was fooled on this one. We'll see. I was also fooled once on the complete opposite, where I had a what thought was a female, had basically no spangles, and ended up being a male. So you never know with this species. Really, probably one of the reasons makes it really fun too. You're not sure what you're going to get at a fry until you grow them out. So really have a lot of fun with that. Anyways, this group is doing good. Got their silver dollar friends in there. They're dithers, and hopefully in the next couple months, maybe we'll start to see some pairing activity occurring. We'll see. All right. Moving on. Tank at the bottom, another 60 gallon. This has the last batch of F2 Rio Naranjo Trimacs. And you know, I kept them right before I moved my F1 pair of them. I kept those fry in a 10 gallon, and they've been growing, especially when I moved them to the 60. They're just absolutely big eaters, growing fast, and I'd say it's not going to be long before these guys are available. Definitely 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch at right now. I actually would be comfortable shipping this size. I have before, but we'll wait a little bit longer. So I'm going to say within a month, you'll probably see Trimacs, panamensis, and red tiger motas become available. So, and if I had unlimited tank space, I definitely would grow a group out for myself in here. So we'll see. Things always change. Projects you want to add. So that's why, you know, I got to move some fish, unfortunately, and like with the multifaceted. So anyways, they're doing good down there, the fry. Let's go to the last section. All right. We'll start up on the right side here. This is a 6-foot rack, 180 gallon on top. And I have, as you guys know, on the right side, that was the middle divider. I had the red tiger mota pair here, the Parachromis motaguensis, Rio Motagua, trying a different collection point, and then I have my Cubans over there. Well, these guys spawned again in that pot before I had this divider, and I, you know, the female, and I've had this problem with in the past with my motas. Female just really aggressive and hard on the male, to the point where his tail became all shredded up, and I just, you know, I had to separate him to give this guy a little time to heal. You know, I don't like my motas looking like shredded tail. His tail is back to normal now. I could take this divider out and let them hang out together. I'm not worried about him getting killed, but she was just getting way too aggressive, and she had a batch of fry in this pot. So I've removed those fry. I kept them on the bottom, but he's over here and she's up here hiding in the corner, so you can see her up there. So it's not the best situation right now, but I wanted to give the male a break. This female is just being ridiculous towards him, but you can see him. He's really nice. I really like this guy, and his tail actually looks really good. So I definitely have no problems putting them back together, and I probably will soon, and monitor that behavior again. He's beautiful, actually. And the female is down there at the bottom. She actually did just have another spawn attempt. She laid her eggs on that plate, and I thought, maybe we'll see if they can do it through the divider. They couldn't, and so they all fungused. Nothing came out of that, but she was really red during that process. I got some video of it, so I might actually post it, but the mota pair is doing good, and their fry are going to be ready pretty soon, as you saw from that last batch. To the left side, this is going to be really fun. The Cuban pair over here, and he hasn't quite, they have a batch of fry in the pot, and that batch of fry is probably half of what it was before I did some siphon. I siphoned out a bunch of them, and I'm gonna get some video of this guy. Hopefully he'll turn beast mode on me and have some fun interaction. But the pair is doing really good. They do really well together. This guy just will eat non-stop. I have to really limit how much I feed this guy. I really don't feed this guy a ton, to be honest. But Cuban pair's doing well. There you go, come up. Yeah, it comes up a little bit. But so I did siphon out half of their fry, and we're gonna go up here above. You can see. So they're just starting to free swim. And I'd say I looked in that pot, and there's about the same amount in that pot. So they had an extremely large batch versus the first one. And yeah. But as I showed you guys earlier, there's 1 inch plus fry available already if you're interested. So all you got to do is message me if you want to get some of them. But really liking this pair. Yeah, now there you go. Now he's getting a little aggressive there. I'll get some video with the lights on here later on. Maybe post it a few weeks. They're doing good. All right, down below the 180 gallon. Start over here. These are that last batch of red tiger motas, the smaller ones, which are doing really well in this 40 breeder. I may actually combine those other ones in here if these guys catch up in size. But they're doing really well. So definitely not gonna have a shortage of Motaguensis coming up here. Some more over here. And then to the right, another 40 breeder. These are the Islaunus that are available. So I'm gonna say 3/4 of an inch. There's definitely inchers in here. And let me know if you're interested, guys. Really fun species. Have a blast with these guys. It's like a roller coaster ride, keeping these. And I may do exactly what I did with the last batch, which if you recall, or maybe you didn't see the videos on the Islaunum Grow Out series, I basically would move this group until I had about 20 or 30 left, probably the smallest 20 or 30. And then I started growing them out, and I started to get pair after pair that would form and develop and color up at that 2 to 3 inch size, really small. And then that pair would just be way too aggressive for the group. I'd ship that pair out to whoever's interested and repeat over and over. I think I shipped out maybe 6 or 7 pairs out of that group of 20 fry that I started out with. Really easy to get those, you know, the pairing, very young size. It's the challenge is the aggression once they start to get to a decent size, and if you don't have a group, then it can get tricky. If you know, you might be stuck with a divider in between them. But if you could do the group thing and you got a big enough tank, I think it's going to be an amazing, fun tank to do. But I could definitely do it in a 75 gallon up to about that 4 inch size, 3 to 4 inch size, if I keep moving the pairs out. So I may do that once we get near the bottom, but I would highly recommend getting some of the fry early on. It's a lot more fun, and it's not going to take them long before they start doing that. So, fun species, guys. Check out some of my old Islaunus videos if you're interested and want to see what they look like, parents. All right, last tank, or last 2 tanks, the last rack. These are the, there's a 75 gallon on top, Maculapinnis and panamensis in here. I'm gonna post some video because I got some really fun interaction of these guys. Now you can see this male Maculapinnis, and he had his female. The female spawned in that pot, but the male did not do his job. I know he can fit in there, so maybe it was just maybe he got gun shy, who knows what. But anyways, they weren't fertilized, unfortunately. But this guy has really stepped it up as far as aggression and dominance. There's the female with him, And I'm really hoping that they can get things done in there. At least give me a spawn. Really liking the species. And I talked about how I possibly would do a tank just for them. Maybe add some fire mouths as their dithers, or just a group, you know, the group thing, and then just have this pair. That might be pretty fun. But really liking this male and the species in general. And then in the back you can see the panamensis. Man, I'm loving this species. Absolutely loving the species. You see the female on the left, and one of the males. I have a video of the two big dominant panamensis males going at it, fighting over the female, I think. And we'll try to post that, maybe make a video for YouTube on that. We'll see. If not, it'll just end up on Facebook or Instagram. But really fun species. Loving these guys. And the group is working well together, so I can't ask for more right now. I would expect it's not long before these panamensis spawn again. Where'd the female go? We'll just check out that male. Anyways, one male's looking fired up right there, and you can see another male up there on the top. It's 3 males and 1 female right now. And there's a female in the back. And the same with the Maculapinnis, only 1 female out of the whole group. So definitely male heavy in this tank. Hopefully none of the females get picked off. That would be sad. But loving both these species. Great tank. A lot of fun with this. See the male shaking his head right there. Hope they're not going to pick this side to try to spawn in. They usually spawn in the pot on the left. That's their go-to. But I don't know what they're doing back there. It's like, can't you just split the tank up? But anyways. All right, and the last tank down below, guys, a 60 gallon. This has my last remaining F1 Stahlsbergi fry. Not a ton left. I do have, a little bit, but with no spawns in sight, I'm definitely, thinking I'm gonna run out of these. So message me if you're interested, and get you some true green terrors. So, anyways, guys, I think that about wraps up the video. Like I mentioned, I don't really go show the ponds in the back, but I'll try to do something on the pond, at least the Braziliensis. They're doing great out there, and everything else. It's looking good. Message me if you're interested. Any of those fry I mentioned, those fish. And I really appreciate if you can like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It really helps me out. And comments or questions, please, guys. I try to respond to all of them. And yeah. So thanks again for tuning in. And until the next time, take care. Bye.